Okay. Hey, here's what I'd like you to do. All right. I would like you to take your piece of paper, hold it portrait to you, like up and down longwise, and fold it like a hot dog or a sub sandwich in half.
Where's your basket? I don't know if I can.
Your campfire.
All right.
Justin, put them on the computer. Like a weenie.
Okay, it's like a sub sandwich. You're gonna fold it. Okay, it's like making a little tent style. Fold it all the way in half, crease it, make it nice and neat.
There's more. Look at making one of your little deals up there. Make one of your little deals like we can't figure out how to look at and
That's
stuff.
the best drawing you've ever done.
What?
That's the best drawing of anything
Illustration
you've
per se.
Appreciate it.
Isn't it like a weenie bun?
Hot dog bun?
A weenie bun.
I don't know.
Just say the Oscar
Sure.
Mayer wieners.
Yeah.
Say it, weenie.
No. All right. All right. Now, next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna hand your group a pair of scissors. Now, here's what I like you to do. On your scissor, when you get it, you're only gonna get one per group, so you're gonna have to share it. I would like you to cut up the middle of the one side. You don't have to go all the way to the other end. You're just going up the one half. So you're gonna cut a line directly down the middle. So if you need to figure out where the middle is, it's fine. Once you have that first cut made, you're gonna make two more going this direction. And the reason why is I want 3 tabs above the middle line, and I want 3 tabs below it. So you're gonna make 2 cuts going this way. This is what it should look like in the end.
Holy cow.
Should look like that. Okay, it's gotta have 6 tabs total, but all you're doing is you're making your cut down the middle, then you're making the other 2 kind of balanced from there. Okay? Hopefully the scissors are being handed out, or one person took them all.
Ward, I think we should be taking notes.
Whoa.
Baby scissors?
I don't trust you with scissors.
I was pretty
Can I have a color piece of paper like you have? What?
It was just easier to see.
Wait, so
All
are
right.
we cutting on both sides or just one side? Just one.
One side, don't go all the way through.
I folded it in
Where's my multiple
six.
scissors? I need one, I need two.
So it's like lines to cut them.
I don't have that.
Ward, he's giving me a bad favor. Close enough.
Don't like this scissors.
I can't handle it.
Band-Aid, Ward.
Hannah, hurry up.
Ward, it's Band-Aid.
Go to that one.
Usually she doesn't like
You want me to fold it?
Go clean it.
No, I haven't had that before.
like that.
But I just want to use it.
Hey, once you have the scissors done, I need to hand them out because there's certain groups that are waiting up front. Make sure you're making
Most
cuts.
groups tend to love the scissors.
We don't want scissors.
Here's
Stop.
our
No. Wait, scissors.
How many cuts do I need?
You need at least 6 total tabs.
So I can have more? So I can have more? No, I need it.
How many tabs?
So we can have more?
So you need one in the middle and then the other.
I can double? Oh. You said at least.
Yeah, let's go cut the bottom one. One side only.
I thought that's what Hal did.
Listen to
Look at
this.
this. I thought that's what Dalton did. Hal.
Alright.
Why would you do that?
I thought that's what Hal
Why would you do that?
Alright. Other than Justin in here, this is what it should look like.
Can I have that one?
Notes I
This is
see?
from Jumper. Alright. Okay, so now, why we're doing this? We're using this as a graphical organizer to help us with what our formulas are. Okay, so what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to close and put away all of your notes, all of your books, everything away for right now. We'll pull them out later, and especially your property sheets and whatnot. All you need in front of you is this item and a pencil. Or a pen if you're using a pen. You just need this, put it down in front of you. Now, here's what I'd like you to do.
To like and subscribe.
If anyone hurt themselves, I'm not liable. That was their own fault. Alright.
I did not sign a contract.
So,
I farted really loud.
alright, hey. Okay. Hey, here's what we need. Okay. Alright. on my little piece of paper, so you have your piece of paper going this way and you have your little tabs. Alright.
Edward Scissorhands.
Hey,
Jimmy, I'm Edward Scissorhands.
hey, put those scissors down. Alright. Hey, alright, so now that we have our 6 tabs, here's what we need. Okay, we got 3 on the top, we got 3 on the bottom. Alright. On the first one, here's what I'd like you to write. And then you write this in pretty big letters. Across the top tab, I want you to write sine alpha plus beta. Across the first tab.
In like pencil, or do you think?
Put it in pencil, pen, it doesn't really matter, but on the first tab only. So you're holding it,
Is that the only thing we're writing on it?
on that front. Yep, on that front. When we open it up, we're going to write on the inside of the tab. Yeah, there's a parenthesis, it's got alpha plus beta on the inside. It's on the first tab. We're going to write on the inside here in a minute, and then we're going to draw a picture on the book side of it. So we're going to so you're going to see what we're looking at. We're going to see the formula. Then we're going to have a picture that goes with it. Okay? All right. So, does everyone understand what we wrote on the first tab?
Yeah.
Okay. Shh. Open up the tab now. So, we should be now looking at, let's see if I can draw this. I don't know if I can.
We can't read your penmanship. What is going on?
All right. So you fold. Hey, you folded the first tab outward. Okay. So you folded the first tab out. Now on the inside of the tab. So now we're looking at the inside tab. We're going to write what the formula is for it. So if we're doing the sine of alpha plus beta, here's what it is. You're going to put in this little spot right here. You're going to put this. It's sine of alpha times cosine of beta plus, then you're going to go sine of beta, cosine alpha. And this part right here, what I'm writing, that's the part you're going to put in that spot right on the inside of that tab. That's the formula for how you add sine with angles on the inside. Okay, so they're alphas and betas. So sine of alpha, cosine beta multiply together plus sine beta, cosine alpha.
We can use this on test.
What?
Yes.
What? No.
Yes.
Why?
We have to have this memorized?
No. You have a property sheet.
I know what
This is this is to help us with the homework today.
We get homework today.
Yeah,
Mine is basically so good it's a
Hey.
cheat sheet.
The more you complain, the more homework you get.
I wasn't complaining. I was saying
I
it's
would
good
never
because I have a
complain.
cheat sheet.
This is the best
Okay. Hey, next tab, and we're gonna eventually put on the inside right here. On this side, we're eventually gonna put an example of how to work with it. Okay, we're gonna do that here in a minute. We're not gonna do that right now. Let's go to the next tab. Okay, next tab, we're gonna go sine. What? Yeah. We're gonna go sine alpha minus beta. So now we're doing the sine formula, but we're subtracting. Okay, so second tab in. When you're on the inside of the second tab, so you flipped it open, here's what you're going to write on that one. It's the same exact formula, but the only difference, there is a subtraction sign in between them now. So I'd like you to write that on the second tab.
On the inside.
Inside, so you're going to open up that tab on the second tab now.
The second tab. What do we write on the outside?
X minus B.
It's basically the same thing.
Opposite B.
X minus B.
Yeah. Oh, that's not
Okay, is there any more scissors out there? I think I got them all. All right. Hey, does everyone have that second tab done? It's the same formula, and it just has a minus sign in between it. It's when you're doing the sine formula and you're subtracting angles, you're going to have to use the subtraction formula here. Okay, we'll do a second example here in a minute. Okay, all right, we should be on to the third tab now. Third tab. Okay, on this third tab, we're going to write cosine. And now we're going to go alpha plus beta. So third tab, and so that's on the outside. You're going to write the huge. So now on this one's a different tab. So third tab now, when you open it up, and now you're on the inside like this. So you open up that third tab, we're going to be writing on the inside right here, and we're going to write the formula down.
Is the second one a sign?
Yeah. Okay.
Me too, Kyle.
Hey, we gotta stop talking today. Or not. It's fine. I don't need to go through that. Okay. Just waiting on people.
And you shut up.
Okay. Second formula, cosine alpha times cosine beta. Now on this one, here's the weird part. Even though we're adding angles here, in the actual formula for cosine, it's subtraction. It's the opposite sign. And then sine alpha times sine beta. This is usually the number one that people get wrong. That should be on the inside tab. The reason why we're doing this is because some people don't like using that huge property sheet that I gave you. They can't read it. They don't understand what formula to pick from. This will help you if you're adding or subtracting and you're trying to figure out which formula to go to. Just to recognize which one is which. Okay, so that should be your third tab. Now again, on the inside of the book that we have, this third tab, that's where you're writing it. On the inside, we're going to eventually put examples of problems that we can actually use. So we'll try to do examples today, and you can go back through your notes and fill in some other ones. My goal is to do about 3 examples today, and then give you some time where you can actually work. And I'm going to go through these pretty quick today. Okay, hey, we're good?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Fourth tab now. Fourth tab. Here it is. It's cosine alpha minus beta. All right. On the fourth tab, when you open it up, the formula for it is slightly different. So this tab right here, your fourth tab, yep. It's cosine of the first angle, cosine of the second, and now it's a plus sign. It's always the opposite of what you have on the inside here. For cosine anyway. So there'll be a plus, and then sine alpha, sine beta. So there's your fourth tab. So those should be the 4 we've had up till this point. Those are the ones that we spent a lot of time on almost every single day. Yesterday, I introduced for the first time tangent. Those are going to be our bottom 2 we're going to look at today. We'll see here in a minute. Tangent has a completely different formula.
Oh, it doesn't?
These all look kind of the same. Tangent's very, very different. All right, questions, comments about the 4 we have written up till this point?
No.
Anyone need more time for their 4?
I see the fourth one.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else need more time?
Yeah.
We're good here. Reese, let me know when you're done. You're still writing.
Okay, I'm good now.
Okay.
Good reason.
Group in the back, you guys good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. Hey, let's move on. Last tab here. We're gonna do tangent. Or I guess second to last, I should say. alpha plus beta. So now we're doing the tangent formula but for addition. Okay, so this tab, this one has a completely different formula. It's very, very unique. So for the tangent of alpha plus beta tab, so when you're on the inside, so you open it up and now you're going to write down the formula. Here it is. It's tangent of the first angle plus tangent of the second angle all over, because it's a fraction, all over 1 minus, and why it's a minus sign? It's always, the sign on the top is the same as this symbol. So if that's a plus, it's a plus on the top. The bottom symbol will always be the opposite of it. So that's why it's a minus sign. And then we have tangent alpha times tangent beta. This formula is one that you have to have the special triangles. That's why I had them put those on your property sheet. I know a lot of people think it was redundant having the unit circle and the actual special triangles. It didn't matter that you had both, because when we get to tangent, you have to use the special triangles. There's no shortcut like I told you yesterday. Like, you have to look at the special triangle, rattle off the fraction is for tangent. Alright, that should have been your 5th tab.
Last one.
Last tab here. Tangent, alpha minus beta. And again, the goal today is to fill in a couple of these examples. So when you open up the tabs, you'll see an example of the problem there. So you'll know how it works. The reason why I want you to do this, so you, number one, get very, very organized notes on what these formulas are that you're using today in your homework. You can recognize and go backwards and forwards between the two formula. And then, number one, know how to use it for a specific type of homework problem. All right, so last formula here.
Is that a minus?
All right, here we go. So the last tab, this one, here it is. It's equal tangent alpha minus tangent beta. Because again, like I told you earlier, if you're subtracting the angles, it'll be subtraction on the top. The bottom symbol will be the opposite of it, so it'll be plus tangent alpha times tangent beta. Okay, there's your formula.
How come the alpha symbol looks like a fish though?
It is. It is. It's a big fish.
Why is it called alpha though? Well, why is it not
Because
fish?
big fish.
Comes down to Greek terms.
Greeks worship fish.
Do you believe that?
Do you believe in Greek mythology?
Poseidon's real.
I'm gonna reserve that for people with better knowledge of Greek. That's all. I don't know anything about it.
I know a lot. Dude, actually, Lars is gonna major in Greek mythology.
It's a weird major.
With a minor
luck.
in claim.
Thank you. Okay.
That was really mean.
You said it was weird. Good luck.
What did you say? Do you believe in non-Euclidean geometry?
Both.
Parallel lines are fake news.
Okay. Hey. Here we go. Let's do an example. So let's go to the top one. Let's go to the top problem. We're going to do an example. So I want you to open up the top tab. We're going to try to do the top examples only. So like we'll try to do the sine, we'll try to do cosine, we'll try to do tangent, we'll try to do the addition problems. All right, so does everyone have their first tab open? Okay, so here's what I want. Shh. Okay. First tab's open. We're going to write this example down right here. It's going to be inside my little tablet of my book. Okay, we're good?
Yeah.
All right. First tab. Here we go.
We're writing examples.
This is one of the examples we did yesterday. We can do this in any form that you want. This one that I might have done this problem, but anyway, how this problem works, you need to split up 75 into two numbers that add or subtract. We're going to choose adding here because I know most people will pick certain numbers. Any numbers that add or subtract to make 75. The numbers you have to pick from are on your unit circle.
45 and 30.
That's what I would pick. Okay, so since we're going to pick 45 plus 30, that's why we're choosing the top tab. Because we're choosing to add two different angles to make the 75. So this should be the example you're putting on the inside of that book for the first tab. like what you're going to put in here, and then we're going to show what our answer is. So you got to write really kind of small, so you can actually fit the entire problem. So what we do is, on the inside of that tab, you know the formula, you can see it right next to it. The formula is where you take sine of the first angle times cosine of the second angle plus sine of the second times cosine of the first. And that's what that formula says on the inside of the tab. That you're using these as alphas and betas, and you plug those numbers in where they need to go. The last thing that we have to do here is just plug in what these are from your unit circle. Since we're doing sines and cosines, the unit circle actually gives you those answers. So if you actually have your property sheet, which you can now have that out if you want it, we can look at the unit circle, find 45 degrees on the unit, and sine will be the second answer for 45 degrees. So if you actually look at it, 45 degrees is root 2 over 2.
You just have that memorized?
Yeah, I have to. To do cosine of 30, that's going to be root 3 over 2. That's cosine of 30. Sine of 30, according to your property sheet, you find 30, sine is the second answer, that's half. And then cosine of 45, you find 45 on your unit circle, cosine is the first answer, it's root 2 over 2. Hey, alright, and the last thing, we have to multiply and add these two together. So when I multiply, you can multiply anything you want, so this actually turns out to be root 6 over 4 plus root 2 over 4. And then you can add them together.
2 plus root 6 over 4.
Root 6 plus root 2 all over 4. That is your answer. Now I know there's not a lot of space there. You'll have to write kind of small. But that's the example I want you to have. That's exactly the type of problem that I want you to solve. Now, the big thing today. A lot of the problems, they already tell you what the two numbers they want you to use. They already give you this part.
So we just have to do that.
So then you just have to go further and simplify it, like write the actual formula out with the numbers that they're choosing, and then you just have to find answers from there. There is, I think, 2 problems in particular. 2. There's a different way to do it. They actually give you the formula to start with. You could actually go back to here. So they give you this to start. You could go back to here and then add or subtract these together, whichever one it tells you. Because maybe this angle turns out to be really simple, like 30 degrees. And so you can just do the sine of 30. So it's the reason why I had you do the tabs is so you know what are you starting with and where do you need to go. You need to go to the other side of it. Okay, we good so far?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one.
So is the next one like the same thing, just subtraction?
So go down the list. Let's go to the third tab, the one with Cosine Addition.
We're not doing cosine.
I think you should name this chapter something like really cool.
Like fish plus base.
Okay, all right, cosine, here we go.
Per se. First ejection.
Second, yeah. Is this the second?
Wait, not 75, 85? 85?
Make it 95.
85.
Is this the second tab?
Third tab. Third, let's go third. Yeah, we're gonna go third tab, because I want to do cosine. Now, this technically could be third or fourth. We'll see in the minute the numbers I want to use. If you're looking at your little property sheet and looking at the unit circle, I'm trying to make 285, that's kind of large. 285 is in the fourth quadrant area, but to find it, I'm going to be using a couple numbers on this sheet. And the numbers that, I don't know why, but this jumps into my mind when I'm thinking about this. I think of doing 240 plus 45.
What about 135 and 60?
135 and 60?
Yeah.
Nah. Alright. So, doing cosine. Now this is an addition formula. So if you're on that third tab, you open it up. This is the formula it'll tell you. Cosine of the first angle times cosine of the second minus sine. Sine of the first, sine of the second. The problem that people always have, they always pick the wrong symbol. They pick the plus or minus sign. They get that wrong because it's opposite when you go to cosines. And now we have to rattle off these answers. We have to rattle off the answers for those particular numbers. Again, you can use your unit circle. You can use the unit circle, and you can read off what those answers are. For like 240, and we're doing cosine of 240, this should be negative half, I believe, in your property sheet. Is that correct? Negative half for 240 cosine?
Negative half.
Is it? Okay. Cosine of 45 is root 2 over 2. Sine of 240. Sine of 240 should be root 3 over 2, and it's negative. And then sine of 45 is root 2 over 2. Now again, double check my math, see I wrote it down right.
Why are sine and cosine of 45 the same?
Because 45 only has they have the ones and the opposites and the adjacents.
Because
And then the hypotenuse is root 2, so there's only like one combination.
What's it called? Co-functions of each other, and 45 degrees makes them the same.
Yeah.
I pay attention.
Okay, alright. Last thing to do here, multiply these together, so we get negative root 2 over 4. Now, the negative sign here is actually going to make positive, and that's going to be root 6 over 4. And so if you write down your final answer, I don't actually care the order you write it. Maybe you want to write root 6 minus root 2. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to leave it the way I have it. So my final answer here is negative root 2 plus root 6 all over 4. And no, you cannot add those together. Don't try to make that root 4 over 4. Don't do that.
That would be goofy.
Where do you see that quite often?
That's a common mistake. Not the most common. Most common mistake people make is that minus sign at the beginning, they forget it. So, okay, so that should be your second example on your property sheet. And the last example I want to do today, I want to do tangent.
Yes.
Now I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick a problem out of the book.
No, there's a negative on the negative root. Okay, we got it, never mind.
Got a negative sign?
Yeah.
Okay, it happens. Are we good? Okay, alright, let's go down to the bottom. I'm going to pick one of the bottom two tabs. I'm going to pull a problem right from the book so you can get kind of a
Positive one.
Do a positive.
the positive. Okay. Alright, here we go.
You got ahead. What are you talking about? Buddy.
Alright, hey. Okay, last example today. They're giving you radian angles. We're still doing the plus formula. What I would do first when I get these problems, I don't know why, it's just one of those little things I do. I'd convert those to degrees. Pi over 3 is 60 degrees. Pi over 6 is 30 degrees.
How do you know that?
It's one of those things you just kind of have it memorized. I've seen it a lot. It's one of the most common groupings. The other one is pi over 4 is 45.
Yeah.
So.
We used them for one of our assignments.
All right. Now, hey, okay. So now that I'm doing the addition formula, I have to use the tangent formula for addition. So that's doing tangent of the first plus tangent of the second all over 1 minus tangent of the first times tangent of the second. Now, what makes this problem more difficult than the others?
We don't have it on our thing.
Yeah, so it's difficult because you can't use your unit circle because we don't have tangent with the unit circle. We have sine cosines.
On the bottom.
So and we have multiplying. We're gonna have fractions. We're gonna have to find common denominators. So these will take a lot more work than the others. The second thing is we have to use the special triangles to rattle off the answers. So that's why you have to have the 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90 triangles somewhere on your property sheet. So 60 degrees for tangent. If you want to rattle off tangent, this is what you get. Okay, tangent of 60. If you actually look at your property sheet and you look at the special triangle, it's going to be root 3 over 1. That's the opposite over the adjacent wall for 60 degrees. 30 degrees, tangent of 30 is 1 over root 3. which we'd have to simplify that to be root 3 over 3. But that, again, that's opposite wall of 30 over the adjacent wall of 30 on the special triangle. Now I'm going to simplify that as we go to make that just root 3 over 3. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I would definitely recommend it. Makes the numbers a little bit easier to look at. On the bottom, I'm just going to plug in those same numbers I just got a little bit ago. Root 3 over 1. Root 3 over 3.
Yeah. 1 minus root 3 over 1.
Now, on the bottom, this is where I could understand where maybe you don't want to write the root 3 over 3. I'll explain this here in a minute. That's the number we used up here for tangent of 30. But if you wanted to leave this, I'll explain here in a minute.
So we can count the denominators.
If you wanted to leave that like this, it'll actually make the problem a little bit easier to understand. If you didn't, you could left it root 3 over 3. The reason why I'm doing that is because what's going to happen here, and I don't care which one. Do you guys want me to leave it the other way or this way?
Other way.
Other way. Okay, that's what I figured. All right.
What the heck?
It doesn't matter. Okay, it'll work out to be the same numbers here in about 2 seconds. Okay, when you multiply straight across on the bottom, you have to multiply those two together. Here's what you're going to get. And on the top, I have to get common denominators, right? This can be 3 and 3. So I can add across. So I get, that's 1 root 3 plus 3 root 3, which is 4 root 3s over 3 on the top when I add those together. On the bottom, if I multiply these together, I get root 9 over 3 when I multiply those. And root 9 is 3.
1 minus 3 over 3.
So it'd just be 4 root 3 over 3?
4 root 3 over 3 over, and what's 3 over 3?
Yeah,
0.
Okay, and a lot of you are saying we're getting 0 on the bottom. Can you divide by 0?
No, undefined answer.
Oh, thank you for making us
Are they all
over
over
it?
That would make these problems a lot easier.
Okay.
If we were undefined for every answer on the homework, how would
No, it's not undefined. This one is not every problem will be undefined. This problem in particular that I gave you, I picked the numbers in such a way that the answers wouldn't work out, so it was going to simplify very quick. It was just undefined right away. We're dividing by 0. If you get a weird fraction on the bottom, that's fine. You just have to do reciprocal and multiply. But I want to show you kind of where you could go and what types of problems you're going to have. Okay, here's your homework today. This homework will be due on Tuesday next week.
Next Thursday.
Tuesday.
Wednesday. Here's word. I'm on a Wednesday.
Tuesday. All right, here we go.
I just feel that like with the early out it allows us more time to do homework.
Tuesday, here we go. Page. Okay, it's due Tuesday, page 603 now. I actually want you to go in the order that I write it. So try to stick with the order. I'm going to bounce around the problems a little bit. Here we go.
Could you give me a second before you write down the problem?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
This long.
It's not this number, though.
Page 603.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. Page 603. All right, here's the numbers.
All right.
2,
2,
7,
7.
17, 18. Okay, those are the start. I want you to go in that order. I know it's kind of bounced around a little bit.
And then we got 3.
Then
That is literally in the right order.
14, 26.
Oh. Is this the same page?
What?
Yes.
Yeah. 30, 28, 22.
Okay.
I know that's really weird. I want you to go in that order when you do these problems.
Are those the problems you'll want to practice with this?
Yes.
Okay.
These problems I'm assigning have to deal with the ones I have on your property sheet. Now, there's 3 examples we did not do. Okay, so we haven't done the subtraction problems yet, right? We've talked about it in class. You know the formula, you know how to use them. Tomorrow, my goal is to do a couple example problems of subtraction as well. Then give you some time to work on it tomorrow. So if you're gone, you know what we're doing.
I don't know my problem.
What?
First of all, I don't know my problem.
Yeah.
I don't think I can handle the problem.
Okay, keep track of this little graphical organizer. It's to help you with all the formulas we're about to learn.
One of them for alpha and beta is addition.